Hi, welcome to a wonderful, beautiful week. Today, we're going to be talking about how to understand social image. What is it about social image? Is it social media or social perception? This is going to be different and very interesting. And so, gather in here, and before we make progress on knowing that social media, thank you so much, Matthias, for your thumbs up. I really, really appreciate you. Appreciate you. So, understanding that social media and the social life has come to stay. It can be used for our advantage, it can also be used for our disadvantage. Everything that is good always have the advantage and disadvantage. But when we know better, we can then leverage on it to what achieve better results. And today we're going to be talking about understanding social media, understanding the context, the theory, also understanding how the social media image, or rather the social image, can impact on us positively, negatively, and then how we can control it more for our own good. The dilemma of not understanding the power of controlling the social image would be to our undoing. Understanding the undoing, an undoing is a perceptive way of not knowing what is going on, but you think psychologically you know what is going on. So, welcome to our conversations today. Welcome to our faith talk. Welcome to our Bible conversations. And welcome to Bible trivia with Yoyo. Yes, before we get started and why we continue, it's going to be a very short conversation today. And I am inviting you to invite somebody and invite someone and invite somebody that you know would benefit from our talk today. What is it about social image? It is a theory. It is a real theory because it is not all theory that are real and it is not all theory that are wrong. Some theories are there just to let you know that it's a perception built over the years. Now, is social image a perception? Yes, from our great grandfather. However, we did not know. We didn't know that it was there, and it has gone years and years and years and years. And the dilemma of that, it has been transferred from years and years and years. And the beauty is, now that we are beginning to understand the impact of social image, what can you do? Our parents, they have raised us in their social image. I will tell you how. Don't do like that. Don't you know that what will people think? That is a social image taking place. Oh, behave yourself, put yourself together. You're in the public. That is a social image taking place. Why are you crying like that? You're not supposed to cry. That is a social image taking place. Oh, let me dress today so that they will understand. That is a social image taking place. I am not going today because I do not feel good. When I get there, they will. That is a social image. And maybe you've randomly received slap in the public from your parents because you were not putting your step together. You were just being denied of yourself because your parents need to appear, need to have a standard of a social image. And it might have affected you positively, it might have affected you negatively. But what is past is past. Don't dwell on spilled milk. Spilled milk is spilled already. What is left? Look from today and forward. What do you have control over now? How are you perceived socially? It is very important. Some people would say, I do not care. Please, by the grace of God and the special grace of our loving Father, please care. Care how you are perceived, care how people think about you. There's different from caring. There's another level of allowing affect you, and there is another level of taking control. Our conversations today is aged on taking control. Yes, you might not have control how people perceive you, but it is very important how to understand that perception and how to reflect on those perceptions. Do not dash a lot of thoughts. I've ever heard people saying, I don't care whatever they think about me. Oh, that is a very, very heartbreaking. You need to not just care, you need to be bothered how they think about you. Pause and reflect. When you reflect how people think about you, you might have the opportunity to become a better version of yourself. How then will you take those reflections? How what will you do with the reflections? How will you take it and turn it over? When you understand, oh, I am being perceived in this certain way. But let me pause. The bad thing about perception is that you do not know. You only have like 1% of population of your friends and close people telling you how they perceive you. And so the greater population of your friends, your church members, your neighbors, they just keep it in their heart. They never tell you. Okay, you can have an idea how you're being perceived, how people behave towards you. That is a lead way to understand perception. How they react when you show up. That is another way to understand their perception about you. The kind of conversation they have with you. That is another way to understand, okay, I am pulsating this perception and I don't think it is on the positive note. Those signals, perception always have signals. Don't be too ignorant to ignore the signals. Yeah. Don't be too high-minded to ignore the signals of perception. It is very important. And then bringing this understanding of perception into the social space, how can you use it and tailor it and curve it and be on top of it? So however they are perceived, because you are sensitive. And at that point, I want to introduce something called emotional intelligence. Because you are sensitive to people does not mean that you are people pleasers. Yeah. Sensitive to people does not mean that people control you. Sensitive to people, it's you observe their face. Maybe you make a comment and their face just sink in. Don't just go wrapping it. Pause and clarify what's going on. Oh, just wanted to check in. Did this word hurt you? But if you keep going, blah, 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 and the more you go, the more their faces are sinking in, the more you keep ranting, the more they are keeping quiet. That is some perception that you are ignoring. But our focus is not on perception. Our focus today is understanding social image. There are different categories that builds up the social image theory. The first thing is pride of man. Yes, all of us, we have pride. We all have this pride. It's somewhere hidden that we need to manage. We all have this pride somewhere in our heart that we need to nurse. We all have this pride somewhere in our heart that we need to take care of. However, keeping the pride and also taking control in the social image, they are different things. Okay? So now, if you feed this pride at the expense of your own personality, of your own self-awareness, of your own self-confidence, of your own all the self that you have spent donkey years building and refining and pruning in the past, because of this self-pride, you begin to have a double standard life. Mm. Who you are in the public is different from who you are in the secret. Yes, I'm going to add this. You cannot be the same everywhere. Sometimes you need to suck it in. Yes, I was reading an article, and a person I'm currently reading a book called "The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People," but this is the upgraded version of it. The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People talk about how people suck in their reactions in the public, as some other people they bust out in the public. I cannot take this from you. Who do you think you have? Do you know what you're doing? You're doing spray bullets. Like, you know how they use tear gas in the public and you don't know whose eyes will be affected. That is when you bust out in the public. You can You can never recover from that outburst. And so the sucking it is very important, as also maintaining your social image. And there is a very tiny line of self-esteem and your self-validation. Your self-esteem is at stake if you allow it to what? You take it in and you withdraw into your shell. That shell is not made for you. We do not need that shell, because looking at your life, do 1 minute evaluation. Your life right now, who has this shell helped? Shell from religion, shell from society, shell from colleagues, shell from race. You are just boxed into this box because you keep you don't want to, you don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to. And your personality is affected, your self-confidence is affected, everything that has made you is then affected. And you wake up one morning and you are looking at the mirror and like, who am I? And you start this identity, self identity journey again. Who am I? The self identity journey, it is complex, it is very important. The self identity journey would help you as you continue to grow. What is self identity journey? At what point is it important to start making this self identity journey? How long will this self identity journey last? Where, at what point will I realize that I have come to the end point of this self identity journey? I am happy to announce to you that the self identity journey does not have any end, because you are never the same. You are not static, you are very dynamic. And so it is also very important to plug in into to evaluate your self identity result. What are the things that makes up a self-identity reflection sheet? The first thing that reflect the first thing to put on your self-identity reflection sheet is the one question: what is important to me? Ensure the spotlight is on you, because if you find yourself, do you know what you have found? You have found your strength, you have found your groove, you have found your high points, you know your low point, you know where your benchmark is. And so understanding the self-identity journey is as important as your belief. So the first thing to ask yourself in this self-identity journey, it doesn't really matter how old you are. It really doesn't matter. You can be 40 years old, you can be 60 years old, you can be 80 years old, you can be 12 years old, you can be 5 years old. The earlier, the better, but it is never late. Okay, who are you? What has changed between the version of you this year and the version of you next year? The first thing to do before you start painting this version, your self identity, is what do you want to be? Paint your success profile. Yes. I listened to one additional on YouTube. It was like a lot of people do not know who they are because they do not have an end result. Yes, I know that it is God that has the no that knows the end from the beginning, and He knows all things. But who do you want to be? Like, it's free. Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to be a politician? Do you want to be a pastor's wife? Do you want to be a pastor? Who are you? If you do not know who are you want and who you want to be, you cannot start this self-identity journey, because there is no benchmark. And so the first thing to do in the self-identity journey is to define the end and work your way backwards. If you live every day, you wake up and every day, every day turns week, every week turns month, every month turns quarter, yearly, decade, without a destination goal in your heart, you are not going to wake up in a certain place. Let me pause to speak to our religious group of people. Our religious group of people that think fasting and prayer, it's all. Oh, yeah, it is all. But the Bible also says faith without works is what? But the Apostle Paul then said, if you show me your little faith, in your little work, then I can show you what you can become. And so while you're fasting and praying, which is the faith journey, what are you doing? Who do you want to become in the next 5 years? This is not a mental simulation. The knowing of who you are will reduce the social pressure, because a lot of things will be noise. And what do you do with noise? You ignore it because you have a goal. I will paint this picture to you. People that are running the race, and even if they are clapping for them, do they look back? Do they stop to say, is my daddy clapping? Is my friends clapping? Are people sharing for me? Did this person come to this event? No, they do what they keep running because they have a clear picture of the end goal. They want to be the winner, they want to get a prize, they want to get a gold medal. Who are you? What are you working towards? This is not a goal thing. This is to understand the fundamental that will strengthen and build confidence on your social image. Who are you? When you wake up in the morning, who is waking up? And when you lie down to sleep in the night, who is laying down? Who are you? What do you want? Is a big question mark. Sometimes it's rhetorical, but sometimes it needs to be worked on. But let me bring you this good news before I overwhelm you or scare you out of your pants this evening. Let me bring you this good news. The good news is this: start small. Okay? You can always upgrade the version of yourself that you want to be. Okay, so start small. In fact, just start with something. Oh, I want to be a teacher. That's okay. Oh, I want to be a doctor. Oh, perfect. Oh, I want to be a content creator. Absolutely. Why not? Why not? If not, tell me that. Okay. I want to be an astronaut. Why not? The dream world is free. Go, girl. Go, dude. Go get one dream. And then after defining your who you are, so when the social pressure come, you already know who you are. You are not pressured. You can look, okay, I can copy. I was watching a video. I love to try out different dishes, like la cuisine, right? I love to try different dishes. I love to cook something new every week. And so I was watching this video. I was like, this is too much, but I copied this out of the video. This is too much, but I copied it. So when you go through life every day in the societal engagement, in those meetings, you are not pressured because you know who you are. And it's very clear. You see people under pressure. This one is this one. They do not have direction. Because when you have direction, a lot of things will be noise. Then we talked about perception as the first understanding, as the bedrock, the foundation to knowing the social, building a confident social image. One, perception. The second one we talked about pride. Then the third one, we talked about identity. And now we want to talk about shared behavior. What is the concept of shared behavior? Yes, it's a theory. Yes, shared behavior is a theory. Do you know why I said it's a theory? Because it is passed from one person to another person and it becomes a multi-link chain. And if you do not brace up yourself, you're just going to package it in a different way and pass it on to the next generation. The shared behavior comes from a fundamental of prolonged societal expectation. It comes from a fundamental of parental upbringing. We see a lot of parents. The easiest route to parenting in this generation is copy what your father and mother has done and paste it on your new family, your new children that you're bringing. And that is where the concept of shared behavior continues to go. It is hard to break from comfort zone. It is hard to build a new pattern. So parents, let me dedicate this to you, whether you're a parent or your parent to be, you're a children teacher, you're a teacher, whatever you have to do that is connected to people. I want to dedicate this 1 minute to you. It is hard work to build, yes. So the easiest thing is to copy. Oh, my parents used to speak in this way. Copy, paste this. The expectation from my parents when I was young was this. Copy, paste this. No, pause it right there. I am doing another series, maybe towards the end of this week. It's going to be parental results. Okay, so let me pause. Let's put that one. When it comes to shared behavior, my mom yelled at me if I am doing something wrong. And so your children psychologically, if they're doing something wrong, the next thing you do, wait, stop that. But wait, the people in your front, the children in your front, are they psychologically built to take that yelling? Your mom spanked you at every given opportunity of your slightest mistake. And the next thing you do, "Oh, why did you do that?" Your new children are they psychologically built to resist that slapping and to understand that it is a way of life? So you see why this shared behavior keeps recycling. We recycle shared behavior. And under shared behavior, do you know the undertone? Shared expectation. When I was at your age, I was not doing like this. And that is what shared expectation. You borrow it from the 10 years ago. In fact, not 10 years ago. You borrow it from maybe you're 30 years old, or you're 40 years old, or you're 50 years old. You borrow it from one generation ago. And then you are bringing this shared expectation to the reality of these kids. Hey, are they in that century? No. So why that shared expectation? You expect your expectation. You're expecting things from people that you have not trained. You're expecting things from people that you have not mentored. You're expecting things from people that you have not communicated. Hey, pause. Every human is not the Holy Spirit. I love that's my favorite slogan. If you know me, I say that a lot. I am not the Holy Spirit. If you do not tell me, do not assume, do not expect it from me because I do not know. And I'm not going to be under pressure to favor you or to please you because I do not know what you're thinking about. So you want me to act, you go, tell me. And if it is not important, duh. But see, let's talk about this. Let's push it some more. The shared behavior, the shared expectation. It is time to overhaul your processes. It is time to overhaul your routine to see whether there are shared expectation hanging in some places, to see whether there are shared expectation, just floating around. They call it floaters. When you catch one shared expectation, do you know what you will do? It is not enough to say, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop this. I realize this is what my parents used to do. I realize this is what my friends used to do. Now you talk like your friends. I will have some people, a lot of people talk like, I know one of my cousin, he will sit down and listen to Pastor WF Kumi's tape. And by the time I'm coming back in the evening, this guy will be washing plates and he will be speaking exactly like Pastor Kumi. He will memorize the message. He will say it word for word. I was like, wait, this guy. Real, thank you. Yeah. And so this shared expectation keeps going. You need to pause. What about you? Why not create your own theory? Because you're very important. You might not be a brand name, you might not be a celebrity, does not mean that you are empty. You have good stuff, you have values to release. So start your pathway. Do not copy. What about your version? What about you? What about the you have learned? You've gone through elementary school, you've gone through middle school, you've gone through high school, you've gone through university, and you've processed a lot of things. When will you use your version? So break the cycle of shared expectation, break the cycle of shared behavior, invent your own. Start with as little as being yourself. The next time people expect things from you in your local church, the next time people expect things from you in the family, the next time people expect you to behave in a certain way, be yourself. I want you to promise yourself you're going to be yourself. This is not easy though, but just be yourself. Just tell yourself, I'm going to be myself. Do you know the benefits that would happen? The benefit of you being yourself is people around you will be positively impacted. That's one. People will be drawn to you because a lot of people see fake things. They see what is authentic and they also see what is fake. Fake, there is no label done. When you're real, there's some form of label. People would value your authentic self. So when you go to the office tomorrow, rather than man pleasing, you don't feel like smiling. Don't fake it. Oh, I'm not in the mood today. Maybe that's when you can find help. You don't feel, why are you smiling? Why? In fact, you go to the next step by laughing. What did they say that is making you to laugh? Because everybody is laughing, you are laughing. Be yourself. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this Dollar, God bless you. I love you. Thank you. Be yourself. So the next time you go out, just be yourself. You don't have to laugh. When you go to church and you don't want to stand up to pray because everybody is standing up does not mean you should stand up. If you want to stand up just to reverence God, stand. But if you do not want to stand up, sit down. Be yourself. You're going to help the next generation. Let me shock you. The number of people watching you, you will be surprised. The number of people looking at you, you don't know because they are not telling you, they're not giving you comments, they're not telling you, I observe this that you have done. Do you know how many people you influence that you do not know? So come on, set a new theory, break out from the routine, break out from the common. Let's go to the next thing that influences social image. Do you know this? Appearance. Oh my God. I'm going to tell you this story. I am an African woman from what you can see, and I have African hair. Hey, growing up, I love the permed hair. I love the stretch. Come on, I'm not gonna lie. I really love this. At one time, I went to perm my hair, but I was looking so awkward. I was like, no, this is not me. I had to go back to my natural hair. Like, seriously, I had to learn to accept myself. The next time you want to wear the weave on, I'm not saying you shouldn't wear it, but why are you wearing it? I'm not saying, no, no, it's good to wear it. Keep it up. But understand the why. Is it because you want to uplift your social appearance? Is that the reason? Be yourself. The next time you want to tweak your accent, oh yeah, I love it. I love it. Come on, I love it to tweak my accent. But why? Is it for the social image? Enough of doing things for people. Do things for yourself. Come on, you can start it and tell somebody. Yeah, let's go. The next thing that influences this social image, right, that damages it is the social norm. Oh, yeah. That's what everybody would do. That is the expectation. Oh, come on. You can set new standard. And the last one I'm going to talk about is impression management. What would people think of me? This is very deep. What will people think of you versus who you are? You are not there. And you want to paint the perception that you are there, whereas you are here. Grow. Don't be ashamed of your level today. That's it. I have this shirt. I wear it. The day I have money to buy Ralph Lauren, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to wear it. But till then, this is what I have. I'm not going to break my account to appear in a certain way that makes me accepted by the social norm. No, I'm not saying you should, you know, be yourself. Okay? Be yourself. Accept yourself. You can't please anyone. What would people think about me? The impression management, oh my God, is so real. One, as much as it's real, it's so ethic. Like, seriously, you labor so hard to impress people that are not thinking about you. A lot of people that are so busy in their mind, you're not important to them. And so why are you bothered? You're bothered about people that are thinking about how will I make the next $1 million. You're bothered about people that are they're not even looking at you. You do not come to their mind. And then you sit down at home, you waste all those many millions of naira or dollars that you have. You waste all your time trying to impress somebody that does not, in fact, know you. So, what is that? That is what foolishness. Do you know what that is doing to you? It eats into your self confidence. Do you know what that is doing to you? It reduces your self validation. You need to validate yourself first. When you validate yourself, that is when people can validate you. You go into the public, you are hiding because you're not sure what they will say. What do they think about me? Da, 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 da. Because you too don't know what you think about yourself. Let me give you 1 minute to pause. What are you thinking about yourself? What comes to your mind about you? Yeah. Have you asked yourself that question? What am I thinking about myself? Yeah, do not wait for somebody to tell you. You can tell yourself. What are you thinking about yourself? Be your first validator. Don't allow people to validate. Oh, I like your smile. Oh, really? No, I like my smile first. Oh, you're pretty. I know, thanks. I am pretty first. You know what I'm saying? So, what are you thinking about yourself? You need to know it. You need to know it on your fingertips. And so when you come out, there is this aura of confidence that comes when you open your mouth to speak. There is this confidence that comes because I have mentally defined my thoughts, who am I, and what I think about myself. And then I am open to growth. Yeah. Self confident people, you know why people don't like them? People don't like them because they are not open to feedback. But the twist is knowing who you are. And we started by defining where you ought to be. If you know where you're going to, and then you receive feedback that contributes to your direction, you take it. But when you get feedback that doesn't add any value to your direction, you politely smile, thank you for that, but you dish it out, right? And so the dilemma of self-confident people is that they run without reflection. That's not the kind of social image we want to build. We want to run, but we want to reflect. We also want to run, we also want to get feedback. Asking for feedback is different from self validation. Asking for feedback is different from validating your personality. Do you know why that is different? Asking for feedback because it's very structured. That is, it has a target. It's not asking, oh, how do I look? So if you tell me you look good, what benefit is it to my goal? Am I a model? I'm not a model. So why do I need to wait for you to come and meet me and see me to tell me? Like seriously. So you see why that is different from feedback. So asking for feedback are those things that contributes to your direction, to building your self identity. And if it is not adding value to your self identity, mm, pass this time. So let's pause right now. The easiest way to build your self identity, the easiest way to have that structured direction is to be connected to people that has goals. You cannot just surround yourself, your friends in 1 week, they cannot tell you what they are working on. In 3 months, they are not working on anything new. In 1 year, they are still not working on anything new. They wake up in the morning, they go back, they go to work, they come back in the evening, they make dinner, they sleep. They do and they are your best friends. Come on. Push them. Friendship has different stages, and don't be too shy to reshuffle your. In fact, you know how to play Uno, right? You reshuffle the cards. Go and reshuffle your friends' catalog. Those that are not working and building on anything, reshuffle them. Put them where they are. But those that are working and reinventing themselves, bring them closer to yourself. When you bring them closer to yourself, then you can what grow together. Okay, and I would leave you with this final comment. Social image is real, but you can change your narrative. It is you against the world. Yes, it is hard work, but be you, and you will be amazed of the different circle you would influence. If you've learned something new from our live content today, please leave it on the comment section. Do it to like this video, share it, and stick around. Thank you so much for joining us today. I love you. And if you just joined this video, rewind it. There's so many stuff loaded here. We talk about self-identity. We talk about the strategies of building the self identity. We talked about perception, its impact and influence. We also talked about pride. We also talked about the shared behavior and the shared expectation. Then we jumped into appearance and how it affects us. We also rounded it up with social norms and impression management. This is all we've talked about today. Like I said, I'm going to be doing another video on parental results, right? That one, come with your notepads because it will be a mini workshop. Like, seriously, it will be a mini workshop, and I bet you would like it. Thank you for watching this video to this time. I just want to ask you to like this video. If you've not subscribe. And thank you for the gift. Oh my God. God bless you so much. I love you. Take care and bye.